All right, we are back with Dan Kohler. Dan, penny for your thoughts.
Oh, well.
Oh, nickel for your kids.
You're going to have more than one penny for my thoughts.
I know,
They're pretty
it costs a
expensive.
lot
They're
more.
pretty
Well,
expensive.
it's true. You're very smart.
But you know, who doesn't have a jar of change on their counter, right? And you take some shiny pennies home from the bank, you throw them in there, and about a month later, all of a sudden, they're kind of dark looking. They're dirty.
Why do they get so dirty?
So this is what's interesting. It's actually not dirt. Your pennies aren't getting dirty at all. They're going through a natural chemical reaction with the air. So copper in your pennies react with the oxygen, and they form something called copper oxide. That's what this darkness is. It's just an extra chemical element on top of your pennies.
Yeah, because you get a shiny penny, you keep that thing, you pick it up all day long.
You
Good luck.
think it's lucky, but it's never going to stay shiny. And this goes for your copper pots and pans at home too, and copper sinks. It's always going to react to the oxygen.
All right.
So you just wash them in water and soap?
Well, that's what's interesting. You actually can't reverse this chemical reaction with water. Copper oxide is not water soluble. You have to do something a little bit stronger. And that's what I've got going on here. I've set up a system. We're going to walk through it. This is great for kids at home. Pay attention for Kingston.
I know, because it's been raining a lot in LA lately, and I've been bored. I mean, I don't have any more tricks up my sleeve.
This is a great trick.
It's safe for kids.
Oh, it's safe. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. So here I've got a half a cup of vinegar and 2 teaspoons of salt. You're going to take your dirty pennies and just drop them in. And actually, you can begin to see this reaction happening in about 10 seconds. So I'm just going to leave this penny here, and you'll see very quickly we're going to have a line formed on it because this reaction does not take much time at all. Can you see it's already, beginning to happen? Right? It's already,
Wow.
Now,
you know what? We shouldn't do this. This is laundering money. we shouldn't be doing this.
Mark, that might have been the best pun
Just saying.
of 2017 so far. Yeah.
He was waiting all day.
But it only makes sense.
It does. Now what? You win. I mean, I have nothing left.
It actually only makes sense. Okay?
I'm gonna let these pennies sit in that vinegar solution for about 5 minutes, and then take them out. And this is easy. All you have to do is walk over to the sink, and we're just gonna rinse them in some fresh water, rub them against each other a little bit.
Yeah, and that would actually work on our sink too, wouldn't it, Dan? Because our sink's copper.
You'll see. They already start to become much shinier right there like that. They're already beginning to look new, and this reaction is going to continue. And again, if you have pots and pans there, this is a great thing to do.
Yeah, because as soon as I see a shiny penny, I look at the year.
Yeah.
I know, brand new.
Now,
it's a brand new
if you
It's always
don't
brand
rinse
new.
them with vinegar, they undergo a secondary chemical reaction, which is really cool for your kids to watch. They form malachite. The chlorine from the salt actually begins to form malachite with the air. We've got a video of this. It takes about 3 hours. I want to show you what happens. And this is just sped up. You leave them there. These have not been rinsed off. They still have the vinegar on them. I just put them on a paper towel, and all of a sudden, the chlorine and the oxygen react to create a completely new element. And you have this actually kind of beautiful green patina.
Yeah.
And this is what happens on...
I always thought they were super disgusting.
Exactly. This is what's happening on giant lion statues and all of those things. Now, the copper oxide that's being removed, right? So there's stuff that you can't see in this water now. There's copper ions that are being stripped. So if you take a steel nail and drop it in there, within a few hours, that steel nail will pick up all the copper that's been stripped
so
up
cool.
off the penny.
That is not.
So cool. That's like a magic trick, Dan.
That's a magic trick. So as you go down here, you're actually seeing the full reaction cycle. It's very cool.
So could you get Kingston to sit for 3 hours and wait for it to come out of
I'll
copper?
try.
Will that copper eventually rub off?
That
the
copper
nail,
will
though?
eventually rub off. Again, it's just copper ions, but it's kind of a fun thing to show kids that actually there's something you can't see in the water once the pennies have been cleaned, and you can pick it up with this steel nail.
What's going on with the Cirque du Soleil thing?
Listen, if we were going pennies, I thought we'd have a little fun with the physics experiment too. So I built just a cardboard hoop here, and I'm going to put 1 penny on top. It's right above a shot glass. Now I'm going to rip this hoop out. Anyone have a guess where the penny's going to go?
In the water.
Well, you're.
Right, but
We actually shot that in slow-mo.
How did you
See this?
We got a good shot of this in slow-mo.
explain
earlier.
this? Why this is?
This is Newton's first law of physics. An object at rest wants to stay at rest. So you put this penny on top of there, and there's nothing acting on it. Now, as soon as you pull this hoop out, there's not enough friction to remove it, to bring it away, and the penny just falls
Straight down.
There's nothing happening. Yeah, that penny
Literally
wants to go.
straight
Wait a minute.
down.
If it were, and I mean this sincerely, if it were a nickel, something heavier, would that resistance be there? Would that
A little more. There'd be a little more resistance. We'd have to
But it's
calibrate
still
the
gonna
system a little
fall.
differently. It's still
It's
gonna
But
not
it's still
going.
going to fall, but there's more friction between the paper.
Yeah.
What if
Wonderful.
it was a tablecloth with glasses on
This
it?
is the
that
same,
the same thing?
principle.
Oh, wow. Way more than a penny for your thoughts, my friend. Way more.
We're coming right back. We've got some family time and some bad eating habits. You can relate.